Second hour here for Breakfast Extra and our next big story. And a big story indeed it is. In Gombe this past Friday, opposition heavyweights PDP, SP, ADP, LP and disillusioned APC members stamped a united front aimed at wresting power from the ruling party come 2027. Convened by Jibrin Barde, PDP's 2023 gubernatorial candidates, the coalition lambasted Governor Yahaya's administration for eroding infrastructure, doubling poverty and also escalating insecurity. It sprouted from the soil of national-level realignments. What began in Abuja has now taken roots in Gombe. The alliance isn't surface-level handshakes and politics. ADC's national profile just got a serious upgrade. Atiku, Peter Obi, El-Rufai, Amaechi, and others are now rallying behind its umbrella. The intention to channel Nigeria's fragmented opposition into one resolute bloc that can challenge APC's grip. But questions abound. Will PDP giants like Atiku, for instance, play second fiddle to Obi's momentum? Can heterogeneous egos coexist long enough to stick the landing in 2027?
And so to break this down, we're invited two voices from the heart of the party communication. We're going to be joined subsequently by Bala Ibrahim, is the National Publicity Director of APC. He will join us. We also have Abayomi Arabambi, is the National Publicity Secretary of the Labour Party which is the Abure-led faction of the Labour Party. Also joining us on the program today is Mr. Ken Asukwa. He's a Labour Party spokesperson for the Nenadi Usman-led faction. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you for coming on. Let me start with you, Mr. Ken. Now, the APC has called this recycled chaos. What specifically makes it, in your term? First of all, the move by his person, the former presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, joining the ADC coalition. What are your thoughts of the party and the thoughts of Labour Party members of the Nenadi Usman faction?
Thank you, Judith. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, sir.
All right. Thank you, Judith. Thank you, Nigerians. You see, I don't like the intro that you gave, because I think I am going to start on that note before I come into the question you asked here. You see, there is no faction in the Labour Party. There is only one national chairman of Labour Party, and the acting national chairman of Labour Party, as it stands today, is Senator Nenadi Usman. So the issue of faction does not exist. So I deserve an apology. The Labour Party deserves an apology for that appellation or for that remark, because I have a reason for saying this. On the 4th of April this year, the Supreme Court of Nigeria, the highest court in the land, gave a landmark judgment in a matter involving Julius Abure and the National Working Committee of his era and Senator Nenadi Usman. And in that judgment, the Supreme Court of Nigeria clearly, unambiguously stated that Julius Abure's tenure as the national chairman of Labour Party had long expired. They did not mean sweats in stating that fact. So I don't know why the media keeps oxygenating Julius Abure by giving him that tag, a factional leader of Labour Party. He was a former national chairman of the Labour Party, and as it stands today, he is a suspended former national chairman of the Labour Party. He's not even a member of the party as it stands today. So please, I appeal to the Nigerian people, especially the media, to stop giving credence to people who, and if I come out today and say that I am the president of Nigeria, the media cannot describe me, Ken Asukwa, as the president of Nigeria, because I never stood for election to become the president of Nigeria. The president of Nigeria, as we know him today, is President Tinubu. So the media cannot start describing me as a factional president when I'm not the president. So if Julius Abure decides to call himself the national chairman of the Labour Party against the judgment of the Supreme Court, it is contemptuous of any Nigerian to call him by that name. Contempt of court ex facie, because this is a judgment of the Supreme Court that said that this man had long ceased to be the national chairman of the Labour Party. Now, coming to the question you asked about the participation of the leader of the Labour Party, His Excellency Peter Obi, in the coalition. You see, on the 25th of May, the Labour Party issued a statement saying that the participation of Peter Obi in the coalition received the blessing, the support, and approval of the party. You see, Peter Obi himself has pointedly, in several occasions, on different fora, he has maintained that his participation in that coalition, that he's not in for any coalition that does not end hunger, that does not seek to restore the dignity of the Nigerian people, that does not seek to end the insecurity plaguing the Nigerian people, that does not seek to end the Nigerian, more than 3.5 million Nigerians today who are in the IDP camps, who are refugees in their own country, that he is not participating in any coalition that does not seek to end the misery of the Nigerian people, who have been wallowing in abject poverty since the APC government came on board in 2015. So, and in doing this, the leader of the party has come to realize that, look, there is a need to build bridges in trying to do this. In the X post that he made just a day after that coalition, the unveiling of the coalition, he made it clear that even though sometimes the building of these bridges might not come as easy as you may look at it, but these are painful sacrifices that you have to make to get Nigeria restarted. So I think I will begin on this note.
All right. Ken, I must say thank you so much for that submission. Mr. Arabambi, you do have a right to reply. Now, I'm going to ask you, first of all, Mr. Ken, you asked that, you know, you're angry at that intro, so let me apologize. And the reason why I'm apologizing is, of course, I have to accord you that respect and you demanded, and so I give it to you. But also, I do have to make a case for the media, right? The faction, the Abure-led faction, did ask Peter Obi to rescind his membership of the party for joining the ADC, hence why Mr. Arabambi is here, right? And Nenadi Usman's led faction came out to say he's perfectly fine being part of the party. And so as media, we must report what the fact is, and that's just what it is. You might say that there's no faction in the party, but it appears to be so. And so I will come to you, Mr. Arabambi. You have the right to reply to Mr. Ken, but also, where does the Labour Party stand at your end of the table, of the Labour Party table? Where does the Labour Party stand in the coalition mix? Is this a welcome development for the future of democracy in Nigeria? Mr. Arabambi.
Well, thank you very much. I think this was the problem that we had, you know, when we brought in Mr. Peter Obi to the Labour Party, because there were people that are not conversant with the Electoral Act or the Constitution of Nigeria. I am disturbed by what he just said now, that the Supreme Court said Abure tenure has expired. Supreme Court said Abure is not the chairman, but he was unable to tell you the Supreme Court affirmed Nenadi. Now let me educate you. You don't come to here and you start to distort facts. The Supreme Court said issue of leadership is not justiciable. So let me educate you on what the Supreme Court says is not justiciable. When Supreme Court said issue of leadership is not justiciable, it also happens to Ode and Anyanwu. Remember, Anyanwu went to court, High Court, the Court of Appeal, Supreme Court. His matter was dismissed on the fact that issue of leadership is not justiciable and that party should revert back to their constitution. They were just a joinder. They were never a party to that matter. They were a joinder thinking they can come into the party through the back door. So as far as we are concerned, on the INEC portal up to today, Nenadi man is alien to INEC. So when court said issue is not justiciable, please, we don't want you these PDP people to come and be distorting facts to Nigeria. I am not a lawyer, but I challenge any lawyer to come and prove me otherwise. That when Supreme Court said issue of leadership not justiciable, meaning he has declared somebody and not, he has removed somebody. Courts do not have the power to determine who is the leader of a party, and that was why today PDP wrote to INEC, only their acting chairman. All of you were there when they called them, or the governor went to meet them, and INEC said, go back and respect your constitution. And what did they do? They came back to their neck, and they reaffirmed Anyanwu as the chairman, as the national secretary of the party. So people should not come on here to say, oh, Apuri have been removed. We do not know you people, because as far as we are concerned, they nothing remain the chairman of the Yam Festival of this Peterby group. You people who are doing your Yam Festival, it is not a meeting of Labour Party where you have a governor and a former presidential candidate sending letter. Let me educate you. In Electoral Act, only the chairman and secretary can call for a meeting, and it is there, section 82(1). Said, when you want to do NEC, convention, or congresses, the national chairman and secretary shall, is what they say. And let me educate you by what they mean by shall. It is compulsory you do not have an option. The chairman and secretary shall write to INEC, giving them at least 21-day notice. Section 82(5) says, failure to notify INEC shall render the outcome in nullity. So the outcome of your meeting, your Yam Festival in Abia and in Abuja, have been rendered, a complete nullity. So we have to do away, with that. For us, when you are doing a merger, or when you are doing, you are a coalition, you need the backing of your party. Because most of these people, especially, most of these people from Labour Party, they don't know something that the law prescribe anybody. When you are in a party and you want to go and run another party, you don't have a leg in, leg out. You will be automatically disqualified. But they knew what they were doing, and that was why we make it exactly clear to them that he has 48 hours. And let me be very frank, we are convening NWC meeting soon, where they will be recommended for expulsion. We do not want this kind of characters in Labour Party. A man who could not build our party and want to go and build Nigeria. When you are not faithful in little, you cannot be faithful in much. That's what the Bible says. So we don't know the characters, the credentials that will be parading. But for us, he cannot be in Labour Party and now be negotiating.
Mr. Arabambi.
He's not our leader.
Mr. Arabambi.
Did not or be one
Mr. Arabambi. Just a second, right? Let's state the facts here, all right? And I think facts is what's going to guide this conversation, right? If you're saying that that Mr. Peter Obi did not do anything for the party, the presidential votes that was collated at the end will sort of then be false at this point, because what used to be a two-man horse race quickly became a three-man horse race, garnering over millions of votes in that election of 2023. And I remember when he went to tribunal, the very Abure that you stand for and that you're loyal to was the person who was by his side throughout the entire process, hand by hand, standing with him and even addressing the press at the High Court in Abuja and the tribunal in Abuja. And so your popularity that shot up in 2022 and 2023 was by his movement. Don't you think it's unfair to sort of paint him in this manner, that he has done nothing for the party? And do you not think that his move to the coalition is in some way a benefit for the party?
Let me be very frank with you. When he went there, and the following day we issue a statement, if Obi, character, integrity can pull him through, why was he on Zoom meeting with some people claiming, oh, I only went there for discussion, I have not left Labour Party? Let me tell you, individual don't make a party, party made individual, and that was the mistake the coalition of the total element did against Jonathan in 2014. All these people in APC that we are talking about, they were the ones that vilified that professor, and they came back to put that scandalous administration of Buhari on us for 8 years. And that is what we are facing today. The same thing they did that time is what they want to do now. Agree people without no economic blueprint. That was what they did that time. including Professor Wale Soyinka, all of them, including even the president, all of them were there when they pushed them out of government and they brought in Buhari upon us, who destroyed our education, who destroyed our economy for 8 years, upon which Tinubu now came on board. And this is what they don't want to do. They don't want to join the president to clear the base they created for that. Their scandalous 8 years administration. They
Mr.
don't want to
Arabambi,
join him, and they are now
just a second, Mr. Arabambi. Thank you very much for your submission, but we have to introduce our other guests. We have joining us now Mr. Bala Ibrahim, National Publicity Director of the APC. Mr. Bala Ibrahim, you're welcome. Thank you very much for joining us, sir. Now, Mr. Bala Ibrahim, I'm going to go right ahead and ask, well, from what we've seen here, this very short session that we've had, the dispute between the two factions of the LP and the coalition that was called for on Friday, including the APC, the PDP, the SDP, and the LP. What do you make of the mix of individuals that we have? Some of them still in certain levels of reconciliation, others in dispute. Wike, the FCT minister, actually said, and I quote, he said, only a well-organized PDP can offset the APC. From your standpoint as the National Publicity Secretary, what do you think of the coalition that was formed last week, and how far do you think it could go?
Mr. Bala Ibrahim,
Mr. Bala Ibrahim, I hope you heard my question. I do not think Mr. Bala Ibrahim can hear us, unfortunately. I hope that we can get that connection going so he can answer that question. But I'm going to come back to Mr. Ken. Mr. Ken, if you're still there, can we just get a confirmation on your audio, please?
He's there.
All right, Mr. Ken.
I'm here.
All right, Grant. So, Mr. Ken, there has been plenty of back and forth about the LP and the struggles from within. But can the LP get behind Mr. Peter Obi and this coalition here and help with these disputes that are happening within the party? Note that the PDP also has its own share of the same kind of disputes within it. If these parties are coming together with their fractions or factions or however you might want to call it, how does that add up when it comes to the coalition as an entire body itself? Will it stand a chance against anybody, any opposition like the APC is going up against, do you think?
Yes, I will begin by telling you that the Labour Party is fully with Mr. Peter Obi in this coalition. And you see, when I received the invitation for this program, I was told, even the flyer that was sent to me by Judith, I was meant to understand that I was coming here to, to meet with the APC Publicity Director. I didn't know that somebody who, I don't want to use some despicable words in describing anyone here, but I didn't expect that we will be coming here instead of addressing.
My apologies, Mr. Ken, but I'd like you to please focus on the question here regarding, Mr. Ken, I'd like you to please focus on the question regarding the coalition. My apologies, but we're trying to manage time here, and there's plenty of conversation to be had.
There is no difference between him and the APC guy. So I am facing two APC members here on this studio. Yeah, because I consider him as an APC man as well, even though he says he's a Labour Party member. But let me deal with the issue of the coalition.
Yes, please.
The issue of the coalition, like I've told you, Peter Obi is in this coalition fully backed by the Labour Party to deal with the issue of hunger ravaging Nigerian people. Just the other day, the president of Nigeria went to Nasir State and insulted the Nigerian people who are living in IDP camps by making reference to the coalition members as internally displaced persons. Today, as we stand today, according to UN Refugee Agency, 3.5 million Nigerians are living in IDP camps. That is 1.6% of the entire population of 230 million Nigerians that are living in IDP camps. And they are not living there because they chose to be there. They are living in IDP camps because this government has dislocated them from their houses, from their natural places, natural habitat where they were supposed to be. Then this president had the nerve to taunt them that they are living in IDP camps by trying to make a joke out of the coalition. Now, let me tell you the huge number, what you need to understand about this thing I'm saying, because it is frightening when you get to see the numbers. Now, globally, according to the UN Refugee Agency, we have 244 million people globally living in IDP camps. I mean, refugees all over the world. Nigeria, if you take the 3.5 million people who are living in IDPs in Nigeria, Nigeria contributes about 3% of the global refugee crisis all over the world. Now, we have 20 million Nigerian out-of-school children. According to UNESCO reports, that is just 8.2% of the global out-of-school children. Of the 244 million out-of-school children globally, Nigeria contributes a whopping 8.2%. That is what P2B is dealing with, and that is what this president put on the heads of the people that they dislocated from their places. 20 million Nigerian citizens who are not able to get education on account of the decapitation of these citizens by this APC government.
Okay.
To just last week, a report filtered out that
now, Mr. Ken,
that 149 trillion naira. No,
okay.
I need to give you this because
Mr. Ken, my apologies, but we do have a shortage of time, and we do want to get everybody's entry in. I will come back to ask you about the dynamic between Peter Obi and Atiku in just a minute, but I'm being told that we have Mr. Bala Ibrahim back with us. First off, can I confirm your audio, Mr. Bala? Can you please hear us? Mr. Ibrahim, are you there? All right.
Yes, I am.
Oh, grand. Good. So I had asked from earlier regarding the coalition, what you see from your standpoint regarding the coalition, the different parties. I also referenced Mr. Wike, the FCT minister's comments regarding the PDP being the only opposition that can offseat the APC. What do you think about these situations within each of these parties and then as a coalition?
Well, thank God, it is a show of embarrassment. From the way and manner the coalition started, it means the whole project is dead on arrival. It shows that these are people that are not united. They don't have anything in common other than anger and displeasure with the way and manner the country is being governed. And as a party, the APC is happy that it is working towards fulfilling the promises it made to deliver democratic dividends to the people. These are people that are disgruntled. They are people that are not going to have unity of purpose. There is just no way they could be able to unite and focus on leadership that will be beneficial to the country. So as a party, we are very happy because they have shown their true color and character to Nigerians.
Speaking of color and character, I want to talk about El-Rufai, the former governor of Kaduna State and also the former FCT minister as well, who was a loyal member of the party, one of the founding members of the APC, and also a very vocal supporter of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu during his campaign run for 2023. So I do have to ask, would you also say that the same for him in terms of character?
Certainly the qualities you painted of Malam Nasir El-Rufai are true. Malam Nasir El-Rufai was very loyal to the party. He had contributed enormously to the success of the party, and is one politician you cannot dismiss with a wave of the hand. So, but there is the saying which Malam Nasir El-Rufai himself emphasized: when the facts change, one changes his position. We don't know these facts. Malam Nasir has not given us this fact that warranted or stimulated his change of position. But the party still stands by what it was made to stand for. And I believe Malam Nasir El-Rufai is one person that will not enter into an agreement with any set of people unless and until he is convinced they are going to work for the same purpose. And I can tell you these people will fail him. They will not go in the long run in the same direction with him. And I hope he will not be put in the dilemma of confusion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bala Ibrahim. Mr. Ken, I'm going to come back to you now. Now, I had asked a question regarding the Atiku Obi dynamics here, and I want to further modify that question. Looking at the situation inside of the PDP, looking at the situation inside of the LP and the factions, they are fractionized in some way or the other. How do you think that these two parties, these two individuals are going to fare when it comes to the question everybody is asking out there as regards presidency, vice presidency? What's going to happen? Who's going to be what? If we come to that conversation. Mr. Ken.
Well, I don't think I'm in a position to answer that because this is a political party has just been bettered. And, well, it was in existence until they moved in there. So I am not in a position to answer who is going to be the presidential candidate or who is going to be the VP. Yeah, but one thing I need to answer here, which I need to clarify, especially to Mr. Bala and other APC members, is that coalition is a coalition of the Nigerian people. It is not a coalition of Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar and all the big names that we saw that day. It's a coalition that is peopled and championed by the Nigerian people who feel very aggrieved with the system. So it is not Atiku Abubakar or Peter Obi that is because I heard him use the term that they are these aggrieved people. Yes, Nigerians are aggrieved because $1 today exchanges to naira, for naira is changed to $1 today for 1,600. And when this government came on board, it was 600 naira to $1. So that is why Nigerians are aggrieved. It is not just these two people that are aggrieved or the big names you saw that day. When APC government came on board in 2015, a bag of rice was 8,500 naira. Today is more than 100,000. So that is why Nigerians are aggrieved. Today, a liter of fuel sells for almost 1,000 naira per liter. When this government came on board, it was just about 200 and something. And they increased it. And the money they said they saved from it, they used it to purchase a presidential jet for 150 million. Okay. Part of what they saved from there, they said they used it to, they have awarded a contract to build road for $16 billion US.
Mr. Ken.
People are very hungry.
Right. Thank you so much for just pointing out the priorities and what this administration is doing. We want to say thank you. Now, remember, Mr. Ken, we don't have enough time, so I want to very quickly pass a right of reply to Mr. Arabambi. Mr. Arabambi, two things stood out here. The very first is that you have been labeled an APC, a covert APC member, and that the second is that there is no decorum. I'm going to use a lighter term here, although to quote Mr. Bala Ibrahim directly, he did say that, and I'm going to quote, he said, ashamed, that you guys are not ashamed at how divided the parties and how angry the members of your party are. Your right of reply, are you a covert member or is of the APC, and is there decorum? Mr. Arabambi.
Thank you very much. Everybody in this whole world knows that it is a taboo, an abomination. If Satan will prepare supper and ask the disciples of Jesus Christ to come and eat with him, he's seated down there like the locus to determine my membership of Labour Party. This is my 17 years. I am not like his boss, who was in NABGA, who was a PDP, who came to Labour Party, just to rescue his political career and also now in ADC. So he, as a person, does not have that locus. He's not known in Labour Party. This is my 17th year. So I am not going to respond to him because he is just like acting, like I said, when Satan prepares up and ask the disciple of Jesus Christ, we have two parallel lines, that can never meet. Now, with respect, to the coalition, as far as I'm concerned, I see this coalition, as a mere political jamboree.
I didn't ask about the coalition. I didn't ask about the coalition. I asked about the comments that was made by Mr. Bala Ibrahim regarding your sentiment, regarding the divide in your party, the Labour Party. He said that your display today, you all should be ashamed of yourself and that you're displaying anger instead of unity, and that APC is a unifier. What would be your response to that?
I'm coming.
There's no time, man. I just need that because there's no time. There isn't any time, Mr. Abayomi.
No, I am speaking as a Nigerian. I said in 2014, all of us knew when El-Rufai, Atiku, all of them, they mobilized themselves, including Professor Wale Soyinka and the present president. All of them gathered together, to push Jonathan and brought in the man that put Nigeria in the intensive care unit. That is Buhari. I defend that so that people will know where I'm coming from. The same people that poison Nigeria economy are the same people coming with a prescription, to heal us. All of them in that coalition. Is it the man who claimed and the people that murdered June 12th? I'm talking of David Mark, a man that said, oh, telephone is not meant for the poor. Is it Amaechi who successfully provided a rail line for bandits to move from Niger? When our rail lines are not functioning in other parts of Nigeria, he went to source for loan. All of you know. All of us were virtually being made as a collateral in the Amaechi as a Minister of Transport. That is a man who is coming to say, oh, we want to liberate Nigeria. Our position is this. They and President Bala Tinubu, they brought in Buhari. Buhari sentenced Nigeria to capital poverty, the poverty capital of the world.
All right.
All of their party. And clearly...
Mr. Arabambi, you've made some very heavy allegations here. Now, I just do want to say that all the comments that have been made by Mr. Abayomi Arabambi that have not proven to be fact or not in the secular in terms of media, they are not our statements. Those are comments made from our guest, Mr. Abayomi Arabambi. Very heavy allegations from him. But gentlemen, this is all we can take at this hour. We want to say thank you so much for coming on. Now, I wish there was enough time for us to continue, but we cannot. Many thanks to Mr. Bala Ibrahim, who joins us, but unfortunately we can't take his visual. He's the National Publicity Director for the APC. Mr. Abayomi Arabambi, who is of the Labour Party, the Publicity Secretary for the Abure-led faction, as well as Mr. Ken Asugwa. I know you're angry. Apologies, sir, but we have to do our job. He is the Publicity Secretary for the Nenadi Usman faction of the Labour Party. Once again, gentlemen, thank you. We look forward to see what the next 2 years will look like for the ADC leading up to the elections of 2027 and for the sake of democracy for Nigeria.